Okay, thank you for persevering. We are now starting part 4 of our webinar series. And in this part, we will be addressing frequently asked questions, part 2. So there are 5 more questions that we get very often. So one of the questions that we often get is, who can I contact if I have doubts during the program? Others are, will there be exams? Will I get a certificate? Will there be feedback? Where can we get textbooks or the course materials? So I'll answer all of these questions now. So who can I contact if I have doubts during the program? We understand that learning on a new platform can be really nerve-wracking. The first day you went to college, most of all of us actually probably didn't know where the lecture theatre was or the lab. It was hard to get notes sorted. We remember this. And we all survived the first week by asking for directions from strangers, making new friends, and then eventually we all enjoyed college life. So I assure you that it will be the same in this program. We have tried to prepare many self-help videos and little tutorials to help you based on the frequently asked questions that we get. You can also definitely get in touch with your facilitator or the learning support staff. And also it may be useful to ask a peer if you can't get a hold of one of us as soon as you may need it, need the answer to your question. The learning support personnel are embedded in online classrooms, so you may have somebody who may reach out to you if it is noticed that you're not participating or if it is noticed that you're having some kind of hard time. But we encourage you, of course, to be proactive rather than reactive. So what this means is, please get in touch with us if you are struggling or if you know that something is coming up that will mean that you have to miss something. Contact details of the facilitators and the learning support staff can be found on the learning management system and in our WhatsApp group. So please drop us an email if you have a question or you're traveling for work or a family event. If you need, as a group, we can always structure Skype sessions for you, or we can structure WhatsApp chat sessions. And although none of these sessions will be compulsory, they will be good opportunities for you to clarify any questions that you may have on the assignments or the content in general. Another question that we get asked often is, will there be exams? So there will be no mugging for exams. There will be no exams at all, no memorizing, and we have application of knowledge rather than reiteration of theory in your assignments. So we also do not expect that we are going to hear exactly what was written in the course content. You may be curious how we assess if we have no exams. We have 2 kinds of assessment, 3-ish. So one is discussion forum learning activities, which are both formative and summative. So we are able to give you feedback to improve for the next time, but they also tell us how much you've learned of that particular piece of content. And we also have assignments, which are usually short reflective pieces or case studies. At the end of the course, you will either submit a capstone project for our longer course or a mini capstone project for our short course. Again, this will be very practical and stuff that you have probably already done in part during the course. Now you'll put it all together to create some kind of body of work that you can use to demonstrate your learning. You may be curious how we assess. So assessment criteria for major assignments such as your capstone or minor assignments, the ones that happen frequently, is that they are presented in a persuasive and integrated manner, outlined and clearly justified key concepts, applied theory in real-world context using references and data as appropriate, and analyzed issues critically and drew conclusions logically. So these things are weighted equally, right? So another way to look at it is they each contribute an equal amount to your grades. So if you are not able to or don't apply theory or apply your own experiences when you're writing your response, you may score lower than if you did that. So it's important to just keep looking at this rubric and trying to fully understand what it means. And do feel free to get in touch with us if you have any questions. Similarly, for discussion forum posts, we check to see whether you're challenging a point of view or you're forwarding a new perspective, relating the theory to your own experience, offering support for a position based on the literature, and contributing to peers' understanding. So all of these things will really help you understand the content better as well as learn more. The one I would like to highlight here is contributing to peers' understanding, because people often think that once they submit their discussion forum posts, they're done. But really, we expect you to read and respond to at least 3 or 4 other people's discussion forum posts. Because unless you do that, A, you're not contributing to the growth of the cohort as a whole, and you yourself are not getting an opportunity to learn from one another. So that's something that we really emphasize. Also, one thing we'd like to point out here is that we have and you need to look at the Educator Development Academy student handbook, where we lay out exactly how the grades are broken down. An A at the Educator Development Academy is 70 plus. So you may be used to getting 80s and 90s, but this course is a little different because our grading structure is a bit different. So please do look at the student handbook and fully understand what each grade refers to. Also, even if you get an A and that's a 70 or a 75, something like that, there's still room for improvement. So it means that you need to push yourself to really reach your own full potential. Another question that we often get asked is, will I get a certificate at the end of the program? Yes, we are pleased to tell you, you will absolutely get a certificate and a transcript to show how you scored on the various modules, and these two will be separate. Some students may also get merit awards to reflect additional effort on certain aspects of the course. So in the past, we've given merit awards for problem solving, we've given merit awards for discussion forum contribution, we've given merit awards for peer mentorship. So these are awards that we like to give because we understand that grades alone do not fully reflect all of the hard work that you put in during the course. Another question that we very frequently get asked is, will I get feedback on my work? Absolutely, you will get feedback on your work. You'll get individual feedback for your assignments. You may have questions or suggestions on your discussion forum posts. So when your facilitator reads your discussion forum posts and asks you to clarify or respond to a certain question, that's not optional actually. So if you want to do, you want to really get the full scope of the grade and the full scope of learning, it's important that you respond to your facilitator, but it's also important to respond to questions that other people may ask you. You will also get group feedback in the form of a podcast or an announcement. So something like the webinar series that I'm doing just now, you will get some feedback in this form. And sometimes you may get individual feedback for the discussion board participation for each module. Finally, often people will ask us, where can we get textbooks or the course material? Okay, so this is the important part. No textbooks are required for this course. All course content is available under the content tab on the learning management system. Okay, so this is really important. Okay, this brings us to the end of part 4 of the orientation webinar series. Join me for part 5 in just a minute.